Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this video is relatively uneventful, but at the same time it's kind of exciting. It's the first time putting a saddle, pad, and surcingle on flame. So this clip is me just kind of going in, petting her, and kind of gaining her curiosity and kind of drawing her to me. And then I actually saw a better place to put the camera, so I actually walked out and changed camera angles. But I decided to do this at liberty and not have a halter and a lead rope, because once you take off the halter and the lead rope, all that's left is the truth. And I wanted to also be sure that she wasn't being forced to stand still, and being forced in an uncomfortable situation, because everything we've been doing has been gaining her confidence and gaining her trust. And I don't want to ruin that by forcing her to stand still, to do something that she's not comfortable with. So right here she's sniffing the camera and being all nosy, and she's nice and wet from rolling. So we ended up doing this in the pasture because we've had a ton of melt off, and in turn but it is still freezing at night, so we have a ton of ice on the driveway, so it just really wasn't safe to bring her from point A to point B. So I just decided, hey, let's just, work in the pasture. We do what we need to do. She's only with me for like 4 to 6 months. So I gotta, work with her when I can. So I took advantage of the little bit of decent footing we had in the paddock. It's definitely not ideal, but I was able to do a little bit with her. So I'm just trying to get her to kind of face a different way so you guys can see what I'm doing with her. So you can see, like, right here, she's very curious, and she's nuzzling the saddle pad and sniffing it, because of course it smells like the other horses. And I'm shaking it around, letting her hear, like, the jingling of the girth. And one of the things that she's been working on is, since she is so unconfident and very flighty, she's been working on doing the touch it game, to where the second she starts to feel nervous or unsure about something, I do let her go sniff and touch it. I want her to go check it out, because instead she wants to just peace out. So it's very nice to actually see her to take the initiative and actually start nuzzling something that I've never walked in the pasture with. So you'll notice that I kind of have myself a little bit standoffish and a little bit kind of like in a ready to move position, because I'm not sure what she was going to do. We have been, taking blankets on and off her. I've been doing, the belly straps and the leg straps, so she's pretty used to fabric and stuff going over her. But I am still very much in a, like, she could just, peace out, like she has done in the past with different situations. So here I'm just kind of putting it up over her back, and I'm just letting her feel it, and I take it off over her butt, because, sometimes the wind could blow and it could blow it back over her butt, and I want her to be familiar with that feeling. Because I know some horses that if a saddle pad slides out from under the saddle, and it slides off their butt, they freak out. And I try to set my horses up to be able to handle most situations that come their way, especially since all my horses are generally kids' horses, camp horses. So I want her to be just as safe, just because, her owner is pretty new to horses. So here I'm just kind of putting it all over her body and letting her feel it and hear it. And you'll see her ears kind of not necessarily go back, but they go in kind of like a sideways back position. And that's just, it's unconfident. She's not sure of what the heck is going on. So she's very just nosy and trying to figure out what I'm doing. You can actually see where she's licking the girth, and this is actually something that she does when she's very anxious. She starts licking like crazy. She's very mouthy when she's anxious, and not necessarily in a malicious or a bad way. It's just anxiety. And it reminds me of a baby horse. When they go up to an older, more dominant horse, they kind of chomp, kind of like saying, oh, don't hurt me, like I'm young. And where she was the only horse, she was never really taught older horse behavior, I guess. So I feel like that's very much like, don't hurt me sort of thing. I'm anxious, I'm nervous. So you'll notice as I'm starting to tighten the girth, she tail swishes and she backs up and the ears kind of go back. So I hesitate and wait for a second, let her sniff me, but I don't necessarily stop the process. I don't completely retreat. I wait until she is in an okay place, and I'm only going up one hole on each side, so it's still very loose. And so here she kind of backs up away and she's like, I don't think so. So I retreat. I'm like, all right, that's all I want to do. I just want to put it on you. And this is just kind of funny few minutes of me trying to get her to move. But she actually got very stuck once I had put the surcingle on the pad on once he was actually attached, she got stuck in place. And you can kind of see where, like, she actually put her ears forward for a minute there, but the ears are just kind of like sideways and back, and she's like, I don't know what to do. And of course, I don't have a halter and lead rope because I chose not to work with that, so I'm trying to figure out how to get her to move her feet at this point, because I didn't necessarily want to drive her forward. I was trying to see if I could use my draw, because she's usually pretty drawn to me, but in this situation, her feet were just stuck. She was like stuck in mud. She didn't know what to do. So I decided, all right, well, I wanted to do this anyways to get the girth and the surcingle on her, and if she was going to blow up, you know, that's fine. I let them do their thing when they first get something, you know, unfamiliar on them. I always hope that they don't, but if they do, it's okay. I don't necessarily discourage it. So at this point, I'm kind of like, all right, I need this horse to move her feet to feel the surcingle, like, you know, stay with her and feel it move. It's kind of funny, she's actually trying to unbuckle it. It shows you actually how smart she is. She was trying to actually, like, she was biting at it. So at this point, I'm like, all right, don't even ask, like, why I picked up this short little stick. It was the only thing that was there at the moment. Don't judge me. So I was asking her to move off and just take, like, a step or two, which she does. And it's kind of, again, the ears are kind of like, meh. So she kind of takes a step and then goes, but I like that spot. And so I was like, all right, well, the feet move. She didn't completely blow up. And I tossed away my stupid little stick that I don't know why I picked up. But now the feet have started moving, which is what I wanted. And now she's drawn again, just a little bit. She's curious at this point. So I pet her. Let her know it's the right answer. That's what I was asking for. Because I'm not asking her to lunge. The footing's not good for that. I'm literally just asking for her to move her feet. Which is basically what the rest of this video is getting her just to move her feet a little bit. So here I'm just rocking it around, letting her feel it, because it's unfamiliar. And the other thing I've been working on is this with her, is laying over her, and I pet her other side. Because I want to start prepping her for what's coming, which is eventually to be a riding horse. So that's just the very kind of first steps to it. So here's where I'm like, all right, I need her to move her feet. So I found a larger driving stick and started asking her to move her feet a little bit more. She does know how to free lunge now. We've been working on that, so she responds very well to me asking her to move her feet in a more of a like free lunging sort of way. And again, I wasn't necessarily asking for anything specific. I just wanted her to move her feet, keeping in mind the footing, and there's a little icy spots and, you know, all that fun stuff. And of course, this paddock has more trees in it than the rest of mine because this paddock was made very quickly for her. We needed her to have her own pasture, so it was put up very quickly. So hopefully we'll have the rest of the trees gone soon. So we cleared out a lot. We cleared out a lot of brush and trees, but there's still a lot of obstacles. So I got her to move around, and I decided to change camera angles to keep it interesting for you guys, so it gets a little rocky here. So here I am going to be clicking to her. She's not fleeing. She's not running away. I was asking her to move off. And if any of you had any question of her being an Arab, you probably don't after this video. Just watching her move. She's very Arab-y with that tail and that trot. So she checks in. She's like, what in the world are we doing? And I'm like, you're not in trouble. I'm just moving your feet. So it's kind of fun to see her move around a little bit. And she's doing so with a lot less anxiety. Like, yeah, she's a little bit unsure of what we're doing, but she's not flat out bolting when I ask her to move off. She's just kind of like, okay, I'll move my feet. And she checks in. And here she trots off. She was going to trot around, but then I think she forgot there's that little ice patch there. So then she turns around, she comes in and checks in. That's really all I was looking for, was just to see her move with it. And she did not buck, she didn't bolt, nothing. It was all very just kind of unsure, which is very much Flame. She's just very unsure and unconfident. So here I kind of walk away and kind of find a place to put the camera again, and she follows. She has her draw, which I'm very happy about. So with my horses, they tend to learn to move their feet first, and then they learn the draw, because I always want to make sure my horses have the understanding of my leadership before, kind of like kids, you know, parent before friend. Same thing with my horses. So lately we've been working more on the draw. So that's about it. She was honestly very good for it. So right here, she had a moment of flight. She was like, whoa, you were moving my feet, and now I'm not sure. And that was kind of like, I kind of going back to what she knows best, which is to run away from humans. But she stopped herself, so I was very proud of her. And again, you can see that very, what are you doing now? And just let her know, we're just taking it off. I lift it up, a little bit more than I exaggerate the lift of everything so she can see it behind her. And she's got a pretty relaxed stance. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video, and until next time,